Good day, everyone. Welcome to episode 63 of Reading with Ayo. My name is Ayo Lawrence. I know a lot of you that have reached out to me. Maybe also stopped me on the always of work and asked me, when are you starting with Reading with Ayo, or why did Reading with Ayo you stop? I want to say thank you to all of you that have reached out in your own way. And you know, 2025 was hard. 2025 didn't play by the rules at all. 2025, I was part of a project at work that I needed to focus on a little bit. That took a lot of my time. And also, life happened. I needed to be more available for the family because there was a change in some of the family dynamics. And I needed to focus and be more present. Also, I needed to focus um, on life as well and some of the things of life. And I had to redirect my energy into some of those important things that I needed to do. But also was just hard because even at work, some of my friends left the company by choice and some not by choice. These are people that I've worked with for years and people that I loved working with. And that took a lot out of me. And it took a lot out of me. Even with the process of the total transformation, I was also anxious. Am I going to have a job? If I have a job, where do I want to go? All that anxiety was hard. That was the hardest part, was that anxiety of thinking about, am I going to have a job or am I not? But everything was, or where do I want to go? Even if I'm going to get a job, where am I going to go? And that was hard. It was hard. And not to talk about it, the world was hard as well. The economy was hard. We saw interest rates and inflation squeeze our wallets. Even the simple act of grocery shopping felt like, tactical mission for some of us. All prices increased. Every day insurance price increased. Every price is increasing, even down to the kids' curricular activities. They had to increase their prices. All prices increased, and that took a lot. You know, we saw geopolitical tension reach points where we've not seen in decades, and that took a lot out of some of us thinking about it. Just saying what's going to happen next. The anxiety of why, am I? If anything happens, where am I going to go? What is going to happen? Those things took a lot of everybody, and there is that thing that's coming up. The line that's being blurred between human and machine is being blurred every day. AI is coming up. How am I going to use AI? How is AI going to be a part of my everyday life? Or what do I need to do? Everything is go. It was really 2025 was a big play, and it was hard. It kicked all our butts. I don't know if it didn't kick yours, but it kicked mine. It did not play by the rules at all, and I felt it, and I just had to prioritize and focus on the things I could control. And I know I could come back to reading with Ayo, and I also wanted to change the way reading with Ayo is. I still love reading, and I'm still going to talk about books, but so reading with Ayo is going to be from my perspective. It's the things I want to write. And maybe it's going to be writing with Ayo, but I love reading with Ayo, and it's been my logo, it's been my brand. So I'm going to continue with reading with Ayo. But it might be just me talking about things I'm writing in my own little space, in my own little things. So it's going to be, and I'm going to be still recommending books. I'm still going to talk about books that I love. So don't even think about it. I'm going to change. But 2026 is here. I'm having a change of perspective. I'm changing my life. I'm changing, the things that I'm not going to let 2025 take away my joy, take away my peace, take away the way what I need to be. So 2026, yes, 2026 is going to be a good year. So I'm going to make sure it is for me. So that's 2026 is where I am. And 2026 is going to be a change of perspective. And I've read some books that I'm going to recommend to you guys as well. One of the books is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. If 2025 felt heavy, he's an ultimate weightlifter. Frankl is a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor as well. And he argues that we cannot always control our circumstances, right? But we have the absolute freedom to choose our attitude towards them. From this book, I actually, my one word resolution, I have a one word resolution every year that that I'm still trying to adopt now. It's not a New Year resolution, it's a one word resolution. And my one word resolution this year is called attitude. Is to put my attitude is have the right attitude in everything I do, right attitude towards my wife and the things we do together. I have the right attitude towards my kids and the kid, and the way I relate with them. I have the right attitude to myself, the way I work out, my faith, and my fellowship with others. I have the right attitude when I go to work, the way I relate to my colleagues, the way I do the work I do. Make sure it's the right attitude. I have the right attitude. I think that's something that I'm bringing into 2026, and it helps me to find purpose in the middle of all this chaos and just find that purpose. Think again, Band and Bryant. I know this world of AI, a lot of us are really anxious about how am I going to use it, where's it going to work, what value is it going to bring. And, I think just reading Adam's book and thinking about it during this time might help you to write thinking about old ways of working and thinking about the new ways of working. How can you use AI to bring value to yourself? How can you use AI to bring value to the things you're doing, to the work you're doing, to your family, to everything. The other day, somebody, did something that I really liked. He generated a family feud kind of thing, question game that he wanted to do with his family and using AI. That was so interesting that you could do AI to do that instead of being thinking through it. AI did that and it took him and he had a great time with his family and they had a great time. I think that was really, really cool. And just thinking about you're going to use AI to incorporate into the right things you want to do, into your everyday life. Another book is called Resilience: How to Grow an Unshakable Core of Calm, Strength, and Happiness by Dr. Rick Hansen. Is it, for people that are science lovers, that talks about neuroscience and all that. This will, I think one of the things this is talking about, we are hardwired for happiness into our brains. We can actually wire happiness into our brain. I think happiness is one of the things that I think everybody has the right to. And I think, it talks about taking the small steps towards positive experiences and turn them into lasting neural structure. I think, I listened to something the other day. He said, on Instagram, and the guy said, the goal of football is not touchdown. And he said the goal of football is actually first down. I was like, wow, that makes sense because it's, uh, it's first downs determines touchdowns, right? It's how many touchdowns you make. If you make 10 first downs, you get a touchdown. So if you celebrate the first downs, you're going to probably get a touchdown. If you work hard to get a first down, you're probably going to get a touchdown. That's actually really good. There will be times you have to make the big plays and get a touchdown straight away. But I think every play that has been made in American football is actually to get a first down. And I think if we are looking for the first down in life, and that's what this book is teaching us, and I think everybody should be creative. So The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin, I think it's a good book because even with AI, you got to be creative with it. This book talks about, the standard part of, is blocked. If a way is blocked, even with AI, you might ask a question one way and you might not get the answer you want, but you have to be creative with it. It's talking about there is so many ways to get to an answer. Don't think because a road is blocked, you can't get it somewhere else. So 2026, Reading with Ayo is back. I'm going to do it as frequently as I can. I'm not going to be on a periodic kind of thing, but I'm going to talk about things from my perspective. I might talk about AI, how to use AI, what I'm seeing around AI. I think I might use it to teach. I might talk about happiness. I might talk about joy. I might talk about fitness. This year, actually, last year, one of the good things that happened to me that was life-changing for me was I found this group called F3. And F3 is like a group of men coming together to have, for fitness, fellowship, and faith. And that's so that those things really matter to me. So I'm working out more. I'm fellowshipping with fellow men, and we're talking about things that men talk about. And and I'm also having faith. I'm using that time to learn up from other people around God and around prayer, around how to be a better man and how to be a better husband, how to be a better father, how to be a better colleague, how to be better in my community. If you're a man out there and you want to join F3, go to f3nation.com. It's all over the USA and there's some popping up around the world as well. I think it's a great thing. I know we start early, but I think it's a great thing. Try it out. You will love it. It's changed my life. It's changed the way my perspective. Actually, when I went for my annual checkup, I was green all over the way because, it really helped me. F3 has really helped me, has really changed and transformed my life. And I wanted to just share that with you guys as well. So, cheers to 2026. Cheers to a change of perspective. Cheers to a great year. And I'll see you on another episode of Reading with Ayo. Bye.